Hello everyone, so today we're going to do this accordion using tailwindcss and NextJS. I already did the same thing using Nuxt, so make sure to check that out. This is going to be just a component that we can use. I'm going to use Lucid to add this icon here and everything. So okay, let's do it. So the first thing, let's create a project with npx create next app latest. Let's see what is going to show us here. The name, let's call it accordion next, and yeah, I think this is it. TypeScript, no. ESLint, yes. Tailwindcss, yes. Source directly, doesn't matter, no. App router, yeah, why not? What would you like to customize? No. And okay, he's already making the installation of the packages. Let us just wait a little bit. He's using npm since I only have npm here in this machine. While he's almost finished. Okay, if you want to support this, if you want to get the files for this project, you can do that. I'm going to let the link in the description, so anyone who supports this channel using Patreon, you can get the files. So this helps me to keep making these videos. Okay, so let's open our project here with code space dot. This is going to open VS Code. And okay, so I opened the wrong. First we need to enter the file, so cd accordion next, and now code space dot. Okay, so now I have here the folder with the basic info for our project. We can delete this public thing. On the app, you can delete the fav icon. On the globals, we can delete everything here. Layout, we leave it as it is. We can delete this main here and this image. And I think this is it. This is the config. We can delete this background. On the tailwind.config.js, you can delete this. On the page, let's put like h1 home, just to see if it's working. Yeah, I believe this is it. Don't think we're going to need anything else from here. Okay, we can run the project, so npm run dev. It's running on localhost. Can probably let's open that. Okay, so we have home here. Everything's working. Now we are going to start using this project, start doing this project. Let's start with the components. Let's add here a components folder. Inside here, let's call it accordion.jsx. Here we're going to export default function accordion. We're going to return, let's put an h1 here, accordion. On page, we're going to we can make a div here. Inside this div, let's make a class name with padding 5, just to make sure everything is not on the borders. And inside here, let's add our accordion component. Okay. Let me put this here. Let me put this right here. Okay, is this big enough? I think it is. I think it's better now. Let me put this a little bit here, like this. Okay, so we have our accordion component. Everything is working fine. And now let's start with our component. First of all, let's make a list of everything we need here. Let's make a const items. And this is an array. This is the items that are going to pass for the accordion component. Inside here, let's put a title. Let's put question about something. 1. And the text, I'm going to use lorem ipsum, the text that we can use here. And now I'm going to copy this object. I'm going to place it 3 more. Okay. And the accordion component is going to receive these items. So items as a prop. And inside here, we're going to have items where we can render this inside the div. And we have another div here with the items that we want to render. So actually, we need to map this. So we have items.map. And we have item. Inside that item, we need a div here. My goodness. Inside this div, let's put the key. So I'm going to use item index. The key is going to be the index. And now we are going to start using our layout here to build everything. Okay, so inside the accordion here, we're going to need a title, and we're going to need the text. So for the title, let's put an 82. Inside that 82, let's make a button. And inside that button, we have a span with the title. And after that, we have the icon. So we have the question about something. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let us first change this to 2. Change this to 3. Okay, so we have 3 items here. And I'm going to add here the little icon here that it goes after the title. That when you open, he's on one position, and when he closes, we have another position. For that, we're going to use Lucid icons. This is very good using React and Next. Inside here, we have Lucid React to learn how we can install everything. We're just going to run npm install Lucid React. Okay, now it's going to run everything again. And inside here, we're going to add our icon. It's going to be chevron down. So he's importing everything out for us. I'm going to make a size here. Let's call it 24 pixels. Okay, for some reason it's not showing. Maybe I need to run again. That we refresh the page. Okay, I think this is too big. Okay, 200 is good. 150, I think it's good. And okay, we have our icon here now. What else we need? We need the text. So after the 82, let's add here a div where we are going to enter our text. This is the block. Outside everything, this is the block of our text. Inside here, we have a paragraph with the item.text. Okay, so we have everything here. Now let's start to using tailwindcss to add the styles. So the first one here, we're going to the button. Side button, I want the type to be button. I want class name flex. Okay, so the width is going to be 100%. The items is going to be centered. The align item is going to be centered. Let's make justify space between. Okay, so now we have it. They are on the opposite side. Let's start the border here. Let's set the color of the border. Border gray 200. Let's put the background white in case you have a different background for the app. Let's put padding 20 pixels. Okay. Let's put our font medium. Good. Let's put the text of this font. Let's put gray 500. Okay. And if I hover, I want to make the background gray 100. Okay, so if I hover, I have background gray 100. Good. What else can I do? I'm going to, we are going to need some conditional classes here. So I'm going to add, my goodness, sorry. I'm going to add a class name. I think it's npm install class name. I'm not wrong. I think this is it. Let me check here. Yeah, class name. So let's run everything again. And here we are going to add some conditional classes. But before, let's do like this. We need to close this and add class name. We need to import the classes here. So import class name from class name. Now we have class name here. So the first part is all the classes that are fixed. And now we have an object with the classes that are not fixed. this object end here. We open, we close, we close, and we close. Okay. So here, you're going to make, let's make these borders just for the first title rounded. So round the top XL. If the index is equal to 0. Okay, it didn't work. Should I redo? Okay, now it's working. Okay, so I need to refresh the page for some reason. Good, so we have that here. I'm going to let the others conditionals for later. Now let's do something with the title. No, the title it's okay. Let's do it here with our component class name. We need class name. And now let's use transition, transform. The duration for the transition is going to be 200 milliseconds. Because when it opens, it's going to be on like facing up, and when you close it facing down, something like that. And here we need to close, close, and close. Okay. I'm going to let it like this, and after I'm going to change these conditions. Let us first some basic styling. Okay, so here I'm going to add a class name. Also, class name, let's put background white. It's not going to change anything because we already have a background white, but when we don't, it's going to be different. Now with the class name of the text, let's make this box here. Let me add a class also here, class name here. Okay, so we need a border. Okay, so you can see that we have double border here and here. You're going to change that. Make a border top 0. Okay, so now we only have the border bottom that is doubled. And let's make the color for this border grade 200. And let's add a padding 20 pixels. Okay, so this is our text. And now here, let's just make sure we have a class name with text gray 500. Okay, so we have a different color for this text here. So this is the basic styling. We need to like thin this border here because I have the border for this box and we have the border for the title. We need to do something about that. And yeah, I think for the styling should be it. Before we do that, let me think. Let us do this open and close first, because we're going to need some, so that I don't need to change a lot after that. Okay, so we receive the items here. What I'm going to do, the items, they have only title and text. So I'm going to make a list here, const list. We're going to map the items. And inside here, let's call it list item. And what we're going to do is going to return the title and the text. And you're also going to add here, if it's open or closed, you're going to let everything closed at the beginning. And you're also going to add the index is going to be the same as the index. Okay, and we're going to change this for that. Let's see if it's still working. It's not working. Did I did something wrong? List. Index is not defined. Okay, index is not defined. Okay, everything's working. Good. We are going to need to change this open and false here. And for that we need to make, let's make use state. Let's call it accordion and set accordion. Use state. Let's import that and get the list. We're going to change this for that and save. We are importing a component that needs state. It only works on a client component. Okay, so next, think that everything here is we are running this component on the server, but actually if you're going to change this, it needs to run on the client. So let's put, before everything, you just put use client. And okay, now it's working. Good. We have the accordion here. Now we are mapping the accordion. And now we can start changing a few things. Okay, so when I click here, it needs to open or close this. So let's put like this. If everything opens, it's when we start this component, everything is false. So inside here, we need a class name that's hidden when the item is closed. Okay, so everything's closed now. What else do we need here? Now we need to change everything. So when we get on click, we need to call, let's call it open or close function. We're going to pass the item. And inside here, let's make a function called open or close with the item. And what we need to do is need to set accordion with our item. So we can change it directly. So we need to do something like this. We need to make accordion.map. Let's call it list item. And if the item.index is equal to list item.index, we are going to return an object. And the object that we're going to return is list item. And the open is different. So now the open receives list item dot open, but actually it's not list item dot open. Yeah, I think this is it. If not, we need to return list item. Okay, so if the index is the same, is going to change this for open to close, so you can see it's working. And if it's not the same, it's going to return everything, and the set accordion is going to just make sure everything is updated correctly. Good. So this is what the hidden does. It's open, then it shows. If it's not open, then it doesn't show. Now we need to change this icon here. So it needs to change this if it's facing up or down. So inside here we need, let me see. Inside this, it needs to rotate. So let's call it rotate 180 degrees if the item is open. Okay, you can see it's working. So we have transition transform, the duration is 200 milliseconds, and when it's open or closed, it's going to rotate 180 degrees. Good. Now we need to change this border here, this double border on the top. So before we do that, let's do something. If I click this and it's open, I want this background to be different. So I'm going to add here background gray 200 if the item is open. Okay, so if the item is open, we have a different background. And now we need to remove this thin border here. So let's add a border 0. Let's make a function here. Let's call it question border. Let's pass index item and list here. And inside here, let's make this function question border with index item list. What this is going to do is, if our index is less than the items I passed the list here. It's not the list. It's accordion. We have index items, we have accordion. I need everything here, so I need probably it actually doesn't matter because it's kind of the same. So this list is this list, which is this accordion items. It doesn't make any difference actually. If list here, if index it's less than list dot length and length -1, actually, because we want to get the first two borders. You can see that this border is thicker and this border is thicker and this border is okay. So this is what we want to do. We want to just make one border. We have like a double border here. So if the index is for everything except the last one, so the first and the second one, so index less than the list.length, and the item is closed, we're going to return true. Otherwise, we're going to return true. Otherwise, we're going to return false. Okay, so now we have it. If it's open or close, you only have one border here now in the title. Okay, this is it. Now we need to remove this double border when it's open. You can see that the line is a little bit thicker. So we need to come here for this box here. You need to kind of do the same. So we're gonna make the border 0 if the index is less than list dot length -1. Okay, so now we also have only one border here at the bottom. Doesn't matter if it's open or close. I think it's good. And yeah, I think that's it. We made this using set use state. You can do the same thing using immer. So let's install it here, npm install use immer. This is something that React recommend. It makes a recommendation about this. Let's run everything again. So here we are going to comment that and make const accordion set accordion use immer. I'm going to pass the list. I'm going to comment that here. Inside here, we're going to do set accordion. Set accordion. I'm going to pass the draft. We're going to make, we need to know which item it is. So we need to make, let's make like draft item. It's going to be draft.find the item.index. We need to find which element we are opening or closing. And let's call it, oh my goodness, before that, let's make a arrow function. So item.index, the same as a.index. Okay, so we have draft item, and here we can make draft item dot open. Is going to be the same but the opposite. Draft item dot open. Let's see if it's working. Let's refresh here. Okay, yeah, it's open, the same thing. So you can do like this, or you can use immer and you can do like this. I think it's maybe better because it's simpler to read, but they're both doing the same thing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to check that out, the files. Tell me what component you want to see next. And that's it. See you on our next component.